I see change happening with technology in the last maybe 2 to 3 years. It does have to do with AI most recently, but even beforehand, I think the access that employers have for talent has changed based on tech, right? And
you're saying that they have more access today, right? I mean, like they can find people anywhere. They can start thinking about remote talent. They can look for very specific information about individuals, and it's out there.
It's out there, yeah. But the problem is it's too much. So my clients, they're getting too much thrown at them in terms of volume, and they need to fill a position with, you know, an A player, high caliber, with all these bells and whistles, and it becomes impossible to do. And especially if they're scaling and have more than one job, you know, even 3 to 5 jobs at a time, it's just impossible. So there's a dilemma here with the employer audience where they have access, but the quality's not there. And they don't know or have the capacity to go out and solicit, you know,
filter it.
Yeah, that they need to. And then we also have a massive problem with the candidate side and the candidate experience when it comes to, you know, applying and soliciting themselves to employers. We have a major problem where we're missing talent because there's too much being thrown at the employer. And there's a lot of pointing of fingers and a blame game, you know, with employers going on where, you know, they're ghosting us, and, you know, we're just a number and all that stuff. But because I come from talent acquisition, I feel for HR and I feel for talent acquisition inside corporations, because they're juggling with just so much garbage that pretty much the first 50, or let's even be liberal here, 100, you know, candidates that apply, after that, they're done. They are done sifting through, you know, people, and they'll take the best of the best from the 100, and they don't care if really their hire is at 101, because they're done.
So Kathleen, yeah, I mean, I get that, because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? The technology allows me more access. I get to see more candidates. I get to look at more. I can't keep up with the volume. And then the candidate starts using technology, and that almost misrepresents the individual in some situations, because it sounds better and they sure like how AI made me sound. So I use that. And then that becomes problematic. And so then the company starts using more technology to sift through the candidates.
Right.
And so like this technology build is really challenging, but how do you get around that? Like, what should I be doing if I'm a company that has, you know, 250 employees? I've got to scale. I've got to be hiring at a pretty good clip. How am I going to find the right people in this environment?
Well, I'll tell you what we're doing, because we're in the same boat, right? We have a lot of demand. We have a lot of eyes on Naviga, and candidates want to be in front of us. The amount of calls we get, like everything, it's like, you would think that it's a good problem to have, and it is, but it needs to be solved. So right now, I mean, employers—
Kathleen, the problem you're talking about is you representing the right talent, right? Because when you say, like, what is that problem? What I'm hearing you say is you've got a lot of candidates coming to you saying, hey, I want you to help me find a job. And you have a lot of clients asking for that. So you've got to be able to not be part of the problem by just adding more.
Oh, absolutely. So the way that we are solving that problem right now is cross-referencing the volume in bulk with AI.
So you're using more technology.
We are.
It's the technology problem.
It's the only way to solve that right now, because of the amount of volume. And a lot of small businesses and developers out there are pitching to Naviga and pitching to our clients, you know, to integrate, you know, plugins and all that stuff. But in time, this is going to be solved by the big guys. It's going to be solved where we have the ability to sift through the volume in an appropriate manner, and we can get to places. So right now, Naviga is handling this both manually and through AI to get to the right people. It's not taking it's not taking the place of the role of recruiting. It is just helping us through that process.